Hey, welcome to Whipping Up Success with Dolly, where we learn, collaborate, and connect with other small business owners to help you and yours. I am your host, Dolly Town, with a la carte business advisors, where food meets bookkeeping. I own a virtual bookkeeping business where I help food businesses get their time back, regain control, and have financial security. Now, if you find my show interesting and engaging, please like, subscribe, and click on that little bell to be notified when we post new shows. Without further ado, let the show begin. Yes, with Dolly. I'm your host, Dolly Town, and this is episode 6, The Secret Ingredients of Content Creation. And today we have Clayton Pantano, who owns Entrust Marketing since March 1st, 2020. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Right before COVID.
I was just gonna say, well, thank you for coming on here. This is awesome. So I remember it very fondly only because March 3rd, 2020 was my 1 year like anniversary party. So I had everybody
Yeah.
here, but yeah, everybody was like, "Oh, should we bring sanitizer? Should because the talks of what's going on in China like came about, and then a week later, like the whole country just shut down.
Yeah.
So did
Yeah.
you know like what was going on at that time?
Yeah, I did. So in February of 2020, my wife and we went on a trip up to Canada. And I remember at the border, they were asking us, have you been exposed to COVID? And we're like, no, of course not. And we just thought it
Yeah.
was this far-fetched idea. And it was actually that trip that started to make me realize that I wanted to do something different with my career. And I got back and I ended up deciding that I was going to leave my job. And I left my job on a Thursday. And that next Monday was the first official shutdown of the state because the numbers had risen high enough. So I was
Yeah.
4 days into entrepreneurship before I just had this crazy hurdle put in front of me that I had to overcome.
That is, oh my God, that's so crazy. So I only met Clayton a few weeks ago. And like I think networking works because I'm part of a huge like Facebook bookkeeping group, and I guess you networked with Jenny Rost, who's
Yep.
another bookkeeper. I've never met her. I don't even know what state she's from. But yeah, she sent me like a Facebook message telling me that she met you, and she found out that you help food trucks and restaurants and all that with your business with content creation. And yeah, she's like, yeah, I think it would be like good referral partners. And we talked, and here we are today. So with that, I want to officially introduce you, Clayton Plantano with Entrust Marketing. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and your company.
Yeah, so I'm Clayton Pantano. As we chatted about, I started the company in 2020.
Hmm.
Um, Never planned on being in the industry. It was originally a side hustle that grew into a full-time hustle in the early part of 2020. And then it took about a year for us to get into the food industry, actually from a referral from someone. So networking definitely does work.
Yep.
So over the past 4 years, our focus has always been heavily on content creation and social media marketing. We do offer some other services like SEO and Google Ads and website design and development, but
Okay.
our focus has really always been from the start on social media marketing to help business owners get it right because it is such a nuanced topic and it's
Yep.
always changing, but
Mm.
it's always been the thing that we honestly enjoy the most. So it's at this point probably 80% of our business is the
Wow.
social media content side.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I feel like social media has like skyrocketed these past couple of years because of COVID. Everybody's doing everything from home, and social media is just everywhere. You see people just like recording themselves, like doing stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. But yeah, this is the world we live in now.
Yes.
Um, And thank you for what you do for, for all these restaurants, because um marketing is key. Like that's like number one for all businesses, really. I think anyways.
Yeah.
So I have a few questions for you. So why did you pick this trade in particular?
Yeah, so I think it's really interesting. I never planned on working in the marketing industry at all.
Hmm.
I never had any interest in it until I started going to college, and I took a couple of marketing related courses,
Hmm.
and it started to plant that seed of interest for me. And then I had a professor that actually came up to me and was like, "You have just gotten by in all of your classes, you're doing well, but you really come alive in these specific conversations around marketing. You should explore it more."
Mm.
So I decided to jump into the bachelor's program that was opening up at that college for marketing. And it
Okay.
was really exciting because we got to have a really hands-on relationship with businesses in the local community.
Oh.
And in that, I went, wow, I really enjoy this. This is really cool. I wonder what a career in this field could look like.
Mm.
And then I just stumbled into it actually from a Facebook comment that I wrote. Somebody sent me a message and went, "Hey, what if you managed our social media?" And then it was again, I was like, I've never even considered that, but I'll try it. I'll try anything once typically.
Yep.
And at that point, I did that for about a year and a half before officially starting the business. But it took a few different promotions in my day job at the time in a totally separate industry that I went, I really like this other thing that I'm doing with like 5% of my time way
Mm.
more. I should just go all in on this right now. So that was really it for me. It was never intentional until I couldn't stop thinking about it as an option.
Oh
I just
yeah.
had the itch and I had to scratch it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's awesome. Like you actually went to college for marketing and you're actually doing it. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I fell in love with it, and it was really all because one professor went, "Hey, you enjoy this a lot more than you think you do."
Mm.
And that was probably one of the most impactful conversations I've ever had in the course of college and business was that
Wow.
one person saying, "Hey, explore this more." I
Mm.
probably never would have had he not mentioned it.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome. There's always a reason why we meet people. Um, yeah. So what are the top three reasons why a business owner should invest in your service or products?
Yeah, so when I think about our service and what it provides business owners with, is there's really three main things. Is there's focus,
Mm.
revenue, and experience. When somebody works with us, they're able to actually focus on the other parts of their business that they're probably subject matter experts in.
Hmm.
So they can drive revenue from their skill sets. They can be doing what they're really great at, and it allows us to focus on what we're great at as well. When we're doing that, we're actually helping them drive revenue to their business from the experience that we have. So instead of them having to guess at what's going to work or continue to put a lot of time in and not really know what's going to work, we know which levers to pull for our clients because we work in it every day.
Mm.
So we can help shorten their time horizon to get the results that they want because we know what does work and what doesn't work. And it helps us eliminate a lot of the mistakes that they would have to make along the way to learn the same lessons. We're able to just jumpstart them further down the process
Mm.
and really help them grow their revenue a lot quicker than if they had to focus on every element of their business on their own.
Right, right. No, that's awesome. So who's your ideal customer?
Yeah, when it comes to the food industry, our ideal customer is absolutely food trucks. That is an industry that is one, it's a ton of fun. And two, there's a relatively simple playbook for marketing on how to generate interest and a buzz around a local market. But it would probably be we do love working with new food trucks. That's always really fun. And we
Yeah.
love working with established food trucks, but somebody that's growth minded, that's willing to invest and understand that it may be a little uncomfortable at first, but there's a huge payoff to getting it right. And they're able to just really grow and scale quickly with effective marketing.
Nice. Okay. That's cool. So what would your future self say to your current self?
I think about this a lot, actually. This is a
Oh,
question that I
really?
love. And when I read it in your email, I was excited about it. And I would say in this season of life that I'm in right now is that I would say have faith and just keep going. Keep doing the right things. And
Mhm.
it takes longer than you think, but the payoff is worth it, would be, I think, what my future self would say to me right now. Because I think you hit that point as you're scaling a business where it gets really frustrating and it feels like you're pushing a boulder up a hill
Mm.
and you want to just step aside and let it roll back down the hill. But there is the peak of the mountain is coming at some point. And
Mhm.
that's where I feel like I'm at right now is it's just keep going, have faith, and just keep working hard because it pays off.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely does. Um, so the last question I have for you, what was the craziest thing you've ever done?
Oh man. That's I mean a lot of different crazy things. I think based on my fear of like heights and not necessarily being in control, when I think about crazy things I've done, is there's a suspension bridge up in British Columbia that absolutely terrified me. And I think for me, the craziest thing I've done was walk across that thing and just
Oh,
look 200 feet down, and there's just a river, and there's a bunch of different people on it. So it's bouncing and like
oh my
undulating.
God.
Um, I would say that was probably one of the crazier things that I did, and I was terrified the whole time. It was not an enjoyable experience for me, but that's one of the crazier things I've done for sure.
Wow. So there's a bridge that's 200 feet in the air that you have to walk on. Oh my
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, so it's a suspension bridge that's like strung across a
Oh,
river canyon.
yeah.
Um, and I remember vividly there was a group of people standing on one side of the bridge, so it was tilting really heavily to one side.
Yeah.
And there's like a safety person on one side of the bridge yelling at them, you have to move, you're tipping the bridge. And I'm just on one side, like leaning at a 45-degree angle, trying not
Oh
to
my God.
fall. I was like, this is a nightmare, but fond memories.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah, I won't do it again. I know that much.
Nice. So is there anything else you'd like to add to this
No,
interview?
yeah, I think we covered a lot. I don't think there's too much to add. I just think that a lot of food truck owners, which is who we work with, they know they should be on social media, but they don't necessarily know how to make the most of it.
Mm,
And that's something that I think that fear prevents them and that uncertainty prevents them from taking action. So what I would say is that if that is someone that is in that position, that it's a lot better to go into the unknown and start exploring it rather than just staying exactly where you are and not changing anything.
right, right. Yeah, so true. So if there's someone that is interested to reach out to you, how would they do that?
Yeah, so either they can go to our website, which is entrustmarketingwa.com, or they can find me on Instagram and send me a message directly there. And my Instagram handle is clayton.pantano. Super simple, just my first name and my last name. And I'd be happy to help them.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, this is Dolly Town.